North Paris Arena is ready for day 8 of sitting volleyball for the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. Men's semifinal action awaits as Egypt and the Islamic Republic of Iran compete for a place in the gold medal final. The Islamic Republic of Iran will be favorites to win this match. They've been in every gold medal Paralympic final since 1988, and they've only been beaten twice. Now, both times they lost were to their big rivals, Bosnia and Herzegovina, but no doubt Egypt will be looking to give them a loss of their own as they sit down to play the semifinal match. Now, the losing team will still have a chance at the podium as they'll move into the bronze medal match. So this is going to be a tough fight between the African champions Egypt and gold medalist team Iran. Huge amounts of experience on both sides of the net today. Egypt's Hesham is the second highest scorer so far. Now, earlier in semifinals, Bosnia and Herzegovina overcame Germany. Now they'll be in the gold medal match, and whoever wins this match here today will be meeting Bosnia and Herzegovina in that gold medal final. The Islamic Republic of Iran entering into this match against Egypt with an easy 3-0 win off of all of their opponents so far in this competition. Egypt did drop one loss to Bosnia and Herzegovina, but don't discount them. They're a very talented, very experienced team. Now, the African champions Egypt are on a roll here in Paris, but no one has managed to score more than 19 points against reigning world champions and gold medalists Iran. They're seemingly unstoppable as they look to achieve a three-peat of their gold medal here in North Paris Arena. Now, before they can do that, they've got to come out of this semifinals with a win over Egypt, of course, who are putting on a very experienced squad today. A lot of talent. 2 times bronze medalist team. They got silver at the 2023 World Cup. There are 4 6-time Paralympians in ELSHWIKH, ABOUELYAZEID, ABDALLA, and ABDULLATIF. There's more Paralympians where that came from, but their head coach is Ayman El Afifi. He's been with the team for several years, previously as their assistant coach, and he's taken them to some really big victories in recent years. Now, they did drop one match to Bosnia and Herzegovina, but they gave them a good fight and then went on to have really easy victories over France and Kazakhstan. And here are the superstars from the Islamic Republic of Iran. So much talent here. They're the most successful sitting volleyball team in the history of the sport. Look out for big plays by ALIPOUR, BIGDELI, and even their Libero Salehi. He will fly all over this court. And you, of course, won't miss Morteza MEHRZAD. He's the tallest, second tallest man in the world. And they're coached by Hadi Reza. He is a sitting volleyball legend in his own right. He has 3 gold medals from the 80s and the 90s, and he's coached this team for 2 decades. And you can see it's paying off. Really easy wins for the Islamic Republic of Iran over Ukraine, Brazil, and Germany in pool play. They are sitting pretty and the favorites for the gold medal final, but they'll have to win first. Now, the atmosphere here in the North Paris Arena is absolutely electric. The stands are full of energized fans, ready to watch some excellent sitting volleyball. Now, the players are not used to playing in an atmosphere like this. We don't often get big crowds like we do in Paris, and they have brought the energy. Now, we're nearly ready to get this match underway, but first, the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able for the anthem of Egypt.
Merci mesdames et messieurs, merci à toutes et à tous. Et à présent place à l'hymne de la République islamique d'Iran.
And now the anthem of Islamic Republic of Iran.
Merci à tous et à tous.
This is
It never gets old hearing your nation's national anthem. We're just about to get started on this men's semifinal between the Islamic Republic of Iran and Egypt. Iran the favorites off of a 3-0 record in pool play. Egypt dropped one match to Bosnia, but don't discount them. They're hugely experienced. They have a lot of big scorers. Teams just giving each other a final good luck as they head back to their benches and make their final preparations for this semifinal match. This is a huge match in this competition. Two very, very experienced teams. We have 8 of the top 15 scorers in this tournament so far that are going to sit down on this court here for you today. They are sure to put up a really good fight. Before we get going, we'll meet our officials.
Please welcome our international referees.
Our first referee today is Neil Kovalvik. And he'll be supported on the other side of the court by Khalid Shanishi.
And our second referee from Libya, Khalid Shanishi.
These guys will be making sure that the players are following the rules, that all of the proceedings are going as they should. Making sure we have a really good match here today.
Please welcome the team from Egypt.
Now let's meet our starting players from Egypt. Number 1, Captain Hesham ELSHWIKH. He's the second highest scorer so far in this tournament. He'll be supported on court by number 4, ABDALLA. Number 6, KHAMIS. Now look for some big plays by him. Number 9, Saad Musa. 11, ABDO. And number 12, big hitter, big blocker, ABOUELYAZEID. Abdelnabi Ahmed Abdellatif will be Libero for Egypt. Making sure nothing hits the floor, and there will be plenty of swings from this Iranian team. Starting for Iran, number 2, Morteza MEHRZAD. He has a 2-meter reach when he's out on the floor. He's going to be a huge presence. And around him will be 3rd highest scorer in this tournament, ALIPOUR. He's a big point scorer for them. Number 4 there, Captain ALIPOURIAN. Number 7, Saleh BIGDELI. Number 9 is GOLESTANI. He's another big swinger for Iran. And they're, of course, coached by the legend of sitting volleyball, ABDELAZIZ. So much knowledge, so much experience on this Iranian side. Egypt are going to have to dig deep if they want to win this. Teams getting settled in on court, bringing the liberos in, referees checking that the lineups are as they should be. Teams making some last-minute preparations, having a chat with one another. What is it that we're here to do today? And we're about to get started. It's Egypt in red serving, the Islamic Republic of Iran in white receiving for this men's semifinal match at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. That's a good start for Iran. They get a side out off of an Egyptian error. Referee calling Egypt for a lift. Now, in sitting volleyball, when players contact the ball, somewhere on their torso has to be touching the floor, somewhere between their hips and their shoulders. If they don't, that's an error. It's automatic call and a point for the other team. Egypt playing some good defense so far. But it's Iran's big swinger, Mahdi Babadi. He doesn't have to swing this time. He's just putting that ball in exactly the right spot. And that gets them an easy point. ALIPOURIAN still back to serve. Referee calling a let ball. If the ball gets stuck in between the blockers for a little bit longer than normal, the referee will stop play, calls a let ball. No point to either team, and it goes back to the same server. ELSHWIKH with a really nice tip of his own. Iran able to save it. They're flying all over this court. Now MEHRZAD's big reach came in handy there for them, but it's ELSHWIKH for Egypt with a big kill from the left side. ALIPOUR just not quite in position. ELSHWIKH taking full advantage of that. He's a very big player for Egypt. Iran are gonna have to find a way to shut him down to keep Egypt from racking up too many more points. ABDALLA this time for a swing, but it's a block by MEHRZAD. His sitting reach is 2 meters. He's the second tallest man in the world, and I don't really know what you can do about that. ABDALLA didn't have a chance. That was a good close by MEHRZAD, making his presence known as ALIPOUR takes to the service line. Egypt struggling to return that. And it's Mahdi Babadi once more at the net. He's a great player. He's really fast. But most importantly, he's very powerful and big. ELSHWIKH just not ready for that. That's good handling by Iran. Ace for ALIPOUR. He's a big, big hitter. So far in this competition, he is the top scoring server, and he's showing us exactly why. That's a really powerful top spin serve. 73 kilometers an hour. Oh, and that's a great up by Egypt. Swing by MEHRZAD, not easy to get up. Musa able to get under it, but it's a hitting error that ends the play and gives the ball back to Iran. They take a nice steady lead here, 6-1. Egypt looking to put a bit of a stop to that momentum. They've called a timeout just for a bit of a settling in and regrouping before heading back out onto court.
Alors c'est parti.
Crowd's already really into this match. Lots of great energy, lots of smiles. That's what we like to see here. Now, these players don't often see crowds this big, so it can be a blessing and a curse. It gives them energy to feed off of, but sometimes, if they're not experienced enough, that gives them a bit of an extra difficulty to overcome. Now, ALIPOUR serves long. It's an easy side out for Egypt. Oh, and that's a huge swing. This time it's Sadegh BIGDELI for Iran. He takes a massive swing, deflecting that ball off the Egyptian block and well out of bounds. Babadi going up for a big swing on 2. He's a left-handed player. That puts him in good stead to take those big swings, but Egypt's ABOUELYAZEID was ready and waiting for him. That's a great point for Egypt as ELSHWIKH takes the service line. It's a nice tip from Iran. ELSHWIKH picks it up. And it's a point for Egypt. BABADI, it looks like getting called for a lift. Now it's really tempting when you're blocking. You want to just get every extra millimeter that you can. But these referees, they're looking out for that and they're not letting anything go. That's a big swing from ELSHWIKH, but that's easily handled by Salehi. He's a very talented player. Musa going up for a big swing. ALIPOURIAN sending it out to his outside hitter, and it's a big block by Abdullah, but they're able to recover that. I have no idea how they managed that. That's some excellent, calm and collected defensive play from Iran. ABDELAZIZ and Abdullah close nicely, but GOLESTANI able to get that up and give himself a chance for a kill. BABADI back to serve. Egypt managing to get that over. Another great Egyptian block. Their blocking team's been doing very well this tournament, and they're going to need it. GOLESTANI for another swing this time. Block not quite set. And he found that chink in the Egyptian armor. ABOUELYAZEID struggling to get out. He pulled his hands down, probably thinking that GOLESTANI was going to go for a high hands hit. Oh, but that's a really definitive swing by the Iranian captain. ALIPOURIAN, one of the legends of this team and the sport, really. Egypt doing well to pull that out. I can't believe they managed to get that over. They had a bit of a miscommunication there at the net. Now they're going to have to keep those kinds of errors to a minimum. Iran will not let anything go. It's a good recovery by Musa. He's going up for a big swing. And that's another lift call on Iran. Egypt's getting a side out. They're 6 points behind now. They're not out of it. There's plenty of volleyball left to be played here, but they're gonna have to hold on to this serve and give themselves a string of points if they've got a hope of catching up. Another lovely quick pass by Salehi. This Iranian team are so high class. Even when they're under intense pressure, they're able to recover that ball and play some high class volleyball. Now, they blocked that, but ALIPOURIAN called on a net touch, so that point goes to Egypt. Oh, and that's a huge block for Egypt. Zakareia, Abdo really feeling himself coming off of that. That was great movement by him, great penetration. ALIPOURIAN not able to get that swing through. But the point goes to Iran. Musa taking charge here, getting them that side out. They wanted the point previous.
Et au service pour l'équipe d'Égypte, le numéro 12, Mohamed.
That's a big block, monster block from Egypt. Iran's Alipour taking a huge swing, and it's a last-minute close by KHAMIS. GOLESTANI coming in, he's taking charge of this. That was an easy swing off of the Egyptian block for him, and a kill and a side out for Iran. Well handled by Egypt. That was a quick serve, 63 kilometers an hour. Morteza MEHRZAD goes up for the swing. Egypt getting a roof block, but it's a call on a lift. Looks like it was called on KHAMIS. That is a shame. Morteza MEHRZAD will be relieved. He's not often blocked in this game. Big swings from GOLESTANI. He's bringing the heat from the service line. Egypt not able to get that ball back from MEHRZAD. When he goes up to swing, look how high he reaches above the Egyptian block. Now they do very well to get 3 blockers up, but it's not enough. And another point goes to Iran. And that's a nice side out, an easy point for Egypt. They've got a little bit of ground to cover here if they're going to even things out for a chance at set 1. Iran seem a little bit unstoppable at the minute, but if anybody can do it, Egypt can. Oh, and that's a great block from Alipour. That's a last-minute move. Now he scooted to the right just as the Egyptian server took his swing, moving into a space that was previously open for fire. Easily played up by Salehi. He seems to always be in the right place, and that allows MEHRZAD to get a lovely swing and another kill for Iran. It's a nice roll shot from ELSHWIKH, but Salehi's there. Egypt having to regroup. That's a free ball to Iran. That's a risky move. Oh, MEHRZAD with a good reach and a tip off the block, but nobody goes for it after that first touch. The first touch off the block, it doesn't count. So KHAMIS could have reached for that, as could his teammate. Egypt call a timeout in a desperate attempt to stop Iran from continuing this march to the end of this set.
Est-ce que vous êtes toujours avec nous dans cette arena Paris Nord? Alors si vous avez choisi plus fort.
Both teams move back out onto the court after that Egyptian timeout. We'll soon find out if that timeout did its work, giving Egypt a chance for a side out. Well, that's a nice attempt at a quick ball, but KHAMIS not able to get it over the net, so that's another point for Iran. These serves from Alipourian are not easy. ELSHWIKH ending that play with a definitive swing off of Alipour's hands. They'll all be quite frustrated with their performance right now. They know they can play with this team, but they've got to reduce the errors. They've got to be more consistent. Oh, that's some lovely play by Iran. Egypt getting it up, though. Big swing from ABDALLA. But it's an even bigger block. BABADI taking a big swing. But it's KHAMIS and ABDALLA connecting on the net, putting up a big wall for Egypt. Oh, that's a really nice back row attack for Iran. This time from Sadegh BIGDELI. KHAMIS trying to get his hands up in time, but he's not able to cover enough court, and that's an easy kill for Iran. Oh, that is a huge ace for Alipour. Look at him just taking a look down that line. He's so cool, so collected, threading that needle, just nicking that backcourt line. That's a nice pass from ABOUELYAZEID, but that tip on that back line just goes too long, and Iran getting dangerously close to ending this set. Now they'll need to get 25 points to do that, and if they want to take the match, they need to win 3 out of 5 sets. Alipour going for that Same spot again, but this time it goes long. KHAMIS back to serve for Egypt. Egypt struggling to get it over, but ELSHWIKH is there just in the nick of time. That's a great pickup by KHAMIS. ELSHWIKH goes for a nice soft tip, but just misses that sideline. It's these sorts of errors, and he knows he can't be doing stuff like that, but he says, well, what can I do at this point? Iran just 2 points off of taking the set. Oh, that's a big swing from KHAMIS in the back row. He was smart to go after Iran's ZIRAHI. He's a less experienced player. Really smart play by the Egyptian. Egypt get a much needed side out as Captain ELSHWIKH takes to the service line. Salehi once again handling that with ease. ALIPOURIAN with a quick set back to BABADI for a really nice kill from the right side. This team is flying on all cylinders now. There's not much that can stop them now, and it is set point for Iran as BABADI takes the service line. It's a nice swing from Abdallah, but Iran able to recover that. Egypt keeping the ball alive just long enough to pull an error from Iran. So another slide out for them is Abdallah takes his chance at serve. That's still set point for Iran, so if they win this point, this set is over. That's a great block, great coverage by Salehi, and it's another point for Iran as they win set one of this semi-final match. 25-14, that's a definitive victory for Iran. This Iranian team are so good, they're so experienced, and most importantly of all, they are quick at reacting. Even when things aren't going to plan, they don't get that perfect set, they're still able to set up their big hitters like BIGDELI for an easy kill. They're a world-class team, and they're showing us all why as they win set one, 25-14 over Egypt.
Please welcome to the court, French win!
In the end, there was a couple of service faults from Egypt, a couple of aces from Iran, plenty of kills as well from the Iranians that gave them that really handy victory, 25 points to 14. Egypt are gonna have to shut down that Iranian offense if they've got hope of winning this match. Iran won't make it easy for them, but we know they're capable. They're the African champions. They were silver medal winners of the 2023 World Cup and 2 times bronze medalists. They've got what it takes, but they've just got to execute. Both teams have shown us so far today of what they're capable of. Egypt having some really good points, but they just haven't really managed to find their momentum yet. I'm sure that's what they'll be trying to achieve here in set 2 in the semifinal match to keep their gold medal hopes alive. It's quite a tall order because since the 1980s, no team has been to the gold medal final over the Islamic Republic of Iran. But if Egypt can do it, they'll be making history today. Crowds here in Paris really know what their job is, and they're executing it flawlessly. There are so many people sat here in this arena tonight. Lots of energy, lots of excitement, and lots of support for sitting volleyball. This is part of the legacy of the Paralympic Games. Most of the people sat here in the North Paris arena tonight will have never seen sitting volleyball before. And they've chosen a good day to come for it, because Egypt and Iran are putting on an absolute masterclass of what this game should look like.
Let's welcome these teams back on the court. Make some noise for Iran and Egypt.
Iran's now serving Egypt, and it's an ace for ALIPOURIAN. What a start to set 2 for Iran. Oh, and it's ace number 2. He's starting on a roll now. Now, KHAMIS had his hands on that, but it was ALIPOUR covering that block that won that point for Iran. And there we have it. And again, ALIPOUR covering that block from KHAMIS, keeping ALIPOURIAN on that service line as they very easily sneak ahead in this set 2, 3-0. Egypt finally getting that pass that they need. It's a lovely line shot from Musa. But once again, Iran threading that needle, using those sidelines. It's a lovely soft touch from ALIPOUR. And it's another ace for ALIPOURIAN. He's one of the best players to ever play sitting volleyball. He's got a great serve. It's not rocket fast, but it is right on target. Egypt struggling to get that ball over. ZIKRY takes a somewhat lazy attempt at getting that ball over, and it goes out, so ball goes back to Iran. That's a big swing from Egypt finally, but Iran are ready for it. And Egypt just cannot handle this Iranian team. Salehi with a lovely set out to the outside player. Egypt Libero not able to contact it very well, and the Egyptian coach calls a timeout.
هم يطلعوا معانا كمان عمالين ورا يستقبلوا، هي الكوره ما بتجيش. ماشي، ده اللي انا بقوله بقى. عبد النبي ورا، هشام ورا، مش احنا. ده اللي انا بقوله، يبقى ما تحطش ايدك في الكوره بقى. يعني هيطلع عمال حلو.
Get a sense of frustration from that Egyptian squad. Their coach telling them, come on guys, this isn't good enough. Too many errors. We need to be on our A game if we're going to defeat Iran here in the semifinals. ALIPOURIAN still on the service line. He's not lost his serve yet. Finally, Egypt get their side out off of a big swing from Ahmed KHAMIS.
Le premier point pour l'équipe d'Égypte dans ce deuxième set, 7-1. On est retour!
El-Sayed Musa taking the service line. Egypt have some catching up to do here, and that's going to help him. ELSHWIKH with a big block against Iranian superstar Meysam ALIPOUR, swinging right into ELSHWIKH's hands. It's a big swing. Oh, but it is a service fault called by the line judge. Now, in sitting volleyball, it doesn't matter if the player's feet are in front of the service line when they contact the ball, but their hips have to be behind that line. And what happened there was Musa just snuck a little bit too far forward, but that line judge was right there and caught that. That's an Iranian side out and point. Alipour taking to the service line. That's a great return by Egypt, keeping that ball alive. And once again, Mahdi Babadi with the huge swing from the left side. He's a great player to watch. He powered that ball through right between ZIKRY's hands. That's a huge swing. Egypt doing well to control that. ELSHWIKH taking a power tip, but once again, Iran get it up so easily. And that's a big block by Iran, but they're called for a lift, and it's an Egyptian point. ELSHWIKH really winding up there. BIGDELI just a little bit too tempted, really wanted to shut that down and just came off the floor. It's easily done. ZIKRY at the service line. BIGDELI getting to redeem himself with a big swing off the block through the middle. You can see he's so good. He drops those shoulders, gets his body behind that ball, and just blasts it off of the Egyptian blockers. Iran making a substitution. Hamidreza Abbasi coming on, taking that service line. Now this is not an easy thing for a player to do. He's been sat on the bench for set one and part of set two, but he's got to come in here and get this serve hard and in. And he does just that. Egypt able to handle it pretty well. And that's a big block for Iran. ELSHWIKH trying for a tool off the block, but BIGDELI's a very strong blocker. His hands were at just the right angle, and the point goes to Iran. That serve goes wide, so that's an easy point for Egypt. They've got a lot of catching up to do if they're gonna catch this Iranian team and give them a run for their money. They're down by 7. There's a little bit of time left, but they're gonna have to make some changes really quickly if they're gonna keep in this. ELSHWIKH connecting with ABDALLA for a lovely kill. ABDALLA's a very talented left-handed player. Most hitters will be swinging with the right hand, so when you've got a left-handed hitter, it'll throw things off for the defensive players in the block. They won't quite have the right angles. It gives hitters a slight advantage. Egypt able to keep this alive. Oh, and it's a big block for Egypt. ABOUELYAZEID and ELSHWIKH exactly where they should have been. Mahdi Babadi going in for a huge kill, but he's shut down. Egypt starting to close this gap as KHAMIS takes the floor, but it's an unfortunate service error, and that's an easy point for Iran. Egypt just not finding the right answer to this Iranian offense. And just not there to cover that block either. Alipourian and GOLESTANI doing well to close that block. ELSHWIKH, he's turned away from the net. There was no way he could see where those players were. Egypt giving Iran a free ball. What are they gonna do with that? Alipourian, a nice set, or nice tip over. But once again, GOLESTANI with a big swing of his own. Egyptian blockers not where they need to be. They're not in position, and that's an easy kill for him. This Iranian squad looking absolutely unstoppable as they pull ahead by 6 points, or 8 points, excuse me. Alipourian with another nice soft touch on the ball, but it's ABDALLA coming in with a really smart tool off of the Iranian block and out. He saw those hands coming up. You see him turn his hand and go to push that ball outside. That was completely intentional. Gets his team a really crucial point here. ELSHWIKH going back to the service line as Iran make a substitution, bringing off Mahdi Babadi. And in his place, is HAJIBABAEI. He had an error, but it might just take him a second to settle in. He's been on the bench for quite a long time now. But ELSHWIKH is focused and locked in back there at the service line. He needs to get his team a good string of points, and the first step in that is a nice hard serve in. Egypt doing well to cover the floor. Here comes ALIPOURIAN. He goes for a big swing, but changes at the last minute, and that forces an error on Egypt. Look at that change in his body. Abdallah all over the net. It's a good block, but they're doing well to recover from that. ALIPOUR doing another really nice soft touch right on that 2-meter line. It's a good serve by BIGDELI. ALIPOURIAN covering that. And ALIPOUR knows he just has to put the ball where Egypt isn't. They're not moving particularly well. They're getting really frustrated. And that's what's affecting their play more than anything. They get a lucky side out here. Abdallah going to the backcourt. And that was very close. 90 kilometers an hour. It's absolutely unreal, these players. They obviously don't have the momentum of their legs or a jump like you would in volleyball. And for them to achieve that kind of speed, sitting on the floor is just astounding.
Substitution Iran, number 5, Meysam HAJIBABAEI, coming in number 10.
Iran making another substitution, this time bringing on Isa ZIRAHI. Giving some of their starting players a bit of a rest. And it's Hossein GOLESTANI at the service line. And that's a really lucky point there for Egypt as GOLESTANI serves it just long. Mohamed ABOUELYAZEID takes to the floor. Egypt are going to have to act really quickly if they're going to turn this set around. But Iran looking absolutely unstoppable. It's a nice swing from ZIRAHI. This time ALIPOURIAN goes in. He gets a kill of his own. Mahdi Babadi comes back on court for HAJIBABAEI. He did a great job coming out. Coach Hadi gives him an embrace as he comes back to the bench. Oh, and it's an ace for ALIPOURIAN. The Egyptian receiver had a great pass. Nice and high, plenty of time for someone else, but Musa and ZIKRY just looking at each other like, boy, you gonna take that? And it's another ace for ALIPOURIAN. He is picking this receiving line apart. Egypt looking to stop this momentum as they call their second timeout. Back on court. Iran looking to just continue this excellent play that they're putting on show. They're absolutely railroading Egypt, who aren't able to find any answer, but Egypt sticking around with a big block, putting that ball on the floor. ELSHWIKH just talking some quick tactics with ZIKRY. Anything they can do to get a few more points on the board. They've got a long way to go, and Iran are getting close to the end of this set. And that is an ace for Egypt's Moussa. That is 2 aces for Moussa. Those are great serves. Iran changing things up, putting up 3 blocks, just giving him something else to look at. They don't want that to happen anymore. They know that if they leave this window open for Egypt, they'll run right through it. And that readjustment by Iran did its job. Moussa gives a big swing, and that ball goes long. Sometimes that's all you need to do is just move your players around. It changes the focus of that server, and that'll cause them to kind of change how they approach that serve. That leaves an opportunity for an error, and it's Alipour with a big swing, but Egypt get it over. ZIRAHI with a big swing. He's going for those high hands, but it goes long. Egypt holding on to a few more points as they side out, and ZIKRY takes the service line. Egyptians talking more tactics. They're going to take anything they can get, but there is no stopping Mahdi Babadi when he goes up to swing like that. A world-class attacker in a category all his own. ELSHWIKH is too late on that block, giving him the perfect advantage. Oh, and it's an ace for ZIRAHI. Egyptian receivers let that ball go. They thought it was going long, but it dropped at the last second. That's a great serve. Iran just 2 points shy, and look at that, 8 aces to 2. It just is a good demonstration of how aggressively Iran are still playing. Lucky break for Egypt. They get that side out. And KHAMIS goes to the service line now. Salehi back on court as libero for Iran. Oh, that's a bit of bad luck there. KHAMIS going for the top of that tape. Iran let it go, and it bounces right back into the Egyptian floor space. They all look just at a complete loss. They don't know what they can do to stop this Iranian team as they serve for set point. Lovely soft touch. Egypt able to get hands on it. Moussa going for a big swing, and you can understand why, but it hits the net, and Iran easily win this second set, 25-15. It's hard to see how anyone can stop this Iranian side. They're almost flawless as they play, and it's easy to see why they are the 2-time reigning gold medalists and world champions. Egypt are really struggling to give Iran a run for their money. Iran handily taking the first 2 sets, 25-14, 25-15. And you can just see it's the Iranian offense. They're getting some great passes from their defenders. That's allowing their setters to set up the big guns like Mahdi Babadi, getting up a really nice rack of points there. Egypt making a couple of errors, but they still have the opportunity to win set 3. Can't say it enough times, this Iranian side are just an absolutely world-class team. They don't seem to have an equal in this tournament so far. It's their consistency, it's their tenacity, but most importantly, it's a lot of power and some really smart plays by all of their players. They don't just have one or two big guns on this squad. They have an entire bench full of world-class attackers, big blocks, and really quick defenders. Crowd really bringing the energy. We have over 3,000 spectators here in the North Paris Arena today, and they are making their presence known. It's great to see so many young people here today, seeing Paralympic sport played at its best. The Islamic Republic of Iran putting on an amazing show for the crowd here today. It's Egypt serving Iran as we start set 3. Oh, and that's an easy start for Iran. Egyptian blocker KHAMIS called for an error. He just can't quite believe it, but that's a side out and a point for Iran. They're the first ones to get on the scoreboard. ELSHWIKH with a big swing from the front row, off the Iranian block and well out of bounds. He's not going down without a fight. It's a good swing from Egypt's Amr. BABADI going for a big swing of his own, but this time the point goes to Egypt as it swings clear of their hands. ELSHWIKH giving his teammates a thumbs up. He knows that was a good serve, putting some pressure on that Iranian squad. You can really see that ELSHWIKH is the leader of this team. They all look to him when things get tough. Oh, that's an easy side out for Iran. In a high-stakes match like this, when a player goes back to serve, it's a lot of pressure because it's all on you. Some people are very good at handling it, just like Alipour showing us now, and others can sometimes struggle, get some errors. Now, that point goes to Egypt. MEHRZAD going for a big swing, but he hits the ball into that aerial, and as soon as the ball touches it or goes outside of that antenna, it's an automatic out of bounds and a point to the other side. KHAMIS to serve. Alipour, it's almost too easy for him. KHAMIS is nowhere to be found on the court after he serves. Alipour saw that and he just dinks it. Huge amount of empty space. KHAMIS should have been on court by then. But it's MEHRZAD to serve now for Iran. The nice roll shot from MASSOUD. Roll shot from BIGDELI, just needing to get themselves a bit more time to reset. BIGDELI there with a block. Oh, and it's ELSHWIKH with a big swing of his own. How did BABADI get to that? Oh, what a great rally. Iran just keep their cool. They don't get flustered. They're not upset when things don't go as planned. They just keep playing. That's a huge swing from KHAMIS. Most of the players on that floor, including Alipour, thought that play was over, but BABADI had other ideas. Oh, KHAMIS with another big swing. You can see he's fired up. MEHRZAD just can't get his hands on it as Salehi comes back to take charge of that Iranian back row. ELSHWIKH takes to the service line. Egypt have things all tied up. They're gonna have to get a run of points here though. And that's one way to do it. That's an excellent ace from ELSHWIKH. Iran clearly thinking that was well out as Alipour ducked out of the way. Egypt's gonna need a few more of those. That's another big swing. This time it goes out. That's a side out for Iran as they tie things back up 5-all. ABDALLA with a big swing off the Iranian block. That's a point and a side out for Egypt. They're gonna need to keep this up. They're finally getting that rhythm, getting some nice sets out to their hitters. Just taking a quick pause. The volunteers on court coming to wipe up some sweat on the court. You'll see them doing a lot in this game. As the players put at their maximum effort, they'll leave a little bit of sweat behind on the floor. Nobody wants to sit in that. That's a great recovery by Egypt. Lovely set to BIGDELI as he sails it off the block out of bounds. It's a lovely back set from BABADI. You can see he's very pleased with that. And Egypt just look a bit bewildered. You know, what else can we do? Oh, that's a good block by Egypt's ABOUELYAZEID. Alipour trying to get that ball back up, but he knocks it out of bounds. Egypt leading this set 7-6. They're still in it. Some expert handling there from Iran. They get a pretty nasty ball back in play. Egypt put a big swing, but it's the block that does it in the end. Amr and MASSOUD connect beautifully there. Shutting down GOLESTANI. Alipour taking charge here. Ripping on that ball. It reflects off of the block and well out of bounds. Iran's still down by a point, but you can see they're completely unfazed. A lot of teams would start to show signs of frustration, just a bit of helplessness, but they keep their cool. They know what they need to do, and they know they're perfectly capable of it, just like that. Alipour with another big swing through the right side. Lovely back set by Alipourian, and ABOUELYAZEID just doesn't have an answer for it. Good coverage there by the Egyptian blockers. MEHRZAD setting it out to Alipour, but it's covered by Egypt. KHAMIS going for a big swing, but that's easily handled by BABADI in the back row. BABADI slowing things down, and Alipourian going for a windmill hit. He can't quite believe that works. Really low arm. He had a really funny connection too, but he just did what he had to get that ball between those Egyptian blockers. Now Egypt get a side out. They're still tied things up with Iran. Saad Musa taking the service line. Egyptian substitution, ABOUELYAZEID coming on to the floor for ELSHWIKH. You can see the signs of frustration on his face. He probably just needs to take a bit of a break, sit down on the bench, and regroup. ABOUELYAZEID is a good player in his own right. He scored a lot of points for Egypt, so this might be a smart move. MEHRZAD goes up for a big swing. Egypt able to recover that. Good recovery. Once again, Egypt playing really scrappy. And it's a kill from MEHRZAD. He makes it look so easy, and for him it probably is. There's no block in his way. He just has to pop his hands up and punch that ball down. There's really nothing the Egyptians can do about it. ABOUELYAZEID takes a big swing, but he does make contact with the Iranian block. That's a kill for Egypt. They're holding on to this set by the skin of their teeth.
Re-entering the game.
Zakareia ABDO takes to the floor again. This time ABOUELYAZEID comes off for a bit of a break.
Replacing number 12, Mohamed ABDELAZIZ.
Well, that's a lovely handle by Iran off of a really strong serve. ABOUELYAZEID connects beautifully for a really decisive swing and a kill in the middle of that Iranian court. Nobody's there. BIGDELI ducks, he thinks it's going way out. Ahmed Almer serving for Egypt. He's got a really nice topspin serve. Oh, and that's a big block for Egypt. MEHRZAD goes up for a swing. KHAMIS and ABOUELYAZEID connecting beautifully in the middle. That's a great effort by Egypt. They finally get a nice little lead here, 12-10, and that's an ace for Amer. He is bringing the heat, and the Iranians aren't ready for it. Egypt pull ahead by 3 points, 13-10. That's the best they've managed so far in this match. That last serve, 67 kilometers an hour into Iranian airspace, and it just lands beautifully in the back of that court. Gives him another one. This time Salehi gets an easy handle on it. Here comes Babadi, but it's a great up by KHAMIS. ABOUELYAZEID down to ALIPOURIAN, and it's another Egyptian block. ABOUELYAZEID and KHAMIS once again closing right in front of Mahdi Babadi, shutting that down. They pull ahead 14-10. This is a totally different team than we saw just a few moments ago. They've really woken up here, playing very well, putting that pressure on Iran. They haven't seen that yet, and that's another big kill from Metawa ABOUELYAZEID. Egypt so desperately needed this. They needed that energy. They need a reason to celebrate as Iran call a timeout. Iranian coach Hamidreza more than likely giving his team a bit of a talking to. He is a soft touch coach. You never see him really get unsettled, but he'll definitely have given them a bit of a talking to. They're not playing to their usual standard. They're making silly mistakes. They're not in the right place. Egypt ahead by 5 points, but this Iranian team, they'll come back really swinging or tipping in the case of Alipour. Now that's a critical point. Iran's still behind by 4, but they've disrupted Egypt's momentum. Egypt play with a lot of emotion, a lot of passion, and that can be really helpful, but when you're not getting points, you don't have that to push you forward. Alipour takes a huge swing. That's a beautiful pass. ABOUELYAZEID once again in exactly the right spot blocking. He's stepping in. He's taking a real leadership role here right now, but Egypt just not able to handle. Isa Zahari going in for a really nice touch. Abdallah reaching back. He doesn't know his defenders are there, and Iran put another point on the board. Oh, that's a great play by ABOUELYAZEID. You can see why the Egyptian coach put him on. Alipour really lets it rip, but he's there not only to block it, but covering that block with a great big tip of his own. ABOUELYAZEID seems to be the thing Egypt was missing. It's giving them some reasons to celebrate, reasons to get excited. That's a great up by the Libero. Good movement. And that's another kill for Egypt. They've finally woken up. They're moving really well across the court. They're covering their ground. But most importantly, they're getting some really big hits here. Much needed kills and some much needed reasons to celebrate. They lead 16-3 as KHAMIS takes to the service line. Oh, that's a big swing, and what a good effort by Abdo. Iran struggling to get it past Egypt. Abdo takes a great attempt at a block, but I don't think his hands were in quite the right place. ZIRAHI goes for a big swing. It's just a bit of bad luck for Egypt. Oh, that's some good coverage. KHAMIS and ABOUELYAZEID trying to keep that ball alive, but they're still ahead. They still have a healthy lead here as ZIRAHI goes to serve for Iran. It's easily handled, a big swing on two, but Iran able to handle that. Abdo going for a swing. It's a nice roll shot, and it's an error on Iran. ZIRAHI not making as clean a contact as he needed on that, and that's an easy point for Egypt. They pull ahead 18-14. ABOUELYAZEID takes to the service line for Egypt. Now, he's been a big presence at the front of the court, but now that he's in back row, Egypt will be missing that. They'll be looking to Musa to take his place. And Egypt get another point off of an Iranian error. BABADI called for a lift. Iran no doubt frustrated. They're not used to being behind at all, let alone by 5 points. And that's another quick, easy point for Egypt as they extend their lead by 6 points in this semifinal match. They looked completely out of this match at the start of set 2, but they're storming their way back in, keeping those hopes at a gold medal final alive. BABADI comes in with another huge swing from the right side of the court to give Iran a much needed side out. Now he's gonna need to bring his A game. If he just puts the pressure on, he might be able to force an Egyptian error. It's a lovely back set by ALIPOURIAN. Egypt able to recover that. It's an easy ball over. They're doing an excellent job on defense. There's no inch of this floor that they haven't covered. Abdallah reaching over, and it's a big block again from Egypt. What a rally. Oh, and it's a huge swing. Abdallah bringing the fire. He's convinced he got a touch. But the first referee overrules, and he says no touch. That point is for Iran. BABADI goes to the service line once again. You can see that look of determination on his face. His job is to get these serves in, force a few errors, give his team a chance, and that's a great swing by Musa off the Iranian block. They were there in position. It was just physics working against them. Musa doing a great job getting behind that ball. ALIPOURIAN with a big swing, but the Egyptian block is there once again, and it's GOLESTANI. We haven't seen him swing for a little while. The Egyptian blockers were there, but not quite in position. Their hands were still not penetrating that net by the time he swung. That's a great kill and a side out for Iran. Uncharacteristic error from BIGDELI. The Egyptian team all smiles. They're still in this game. Zakareia Abdo goes back to the service line. Egypt's just 3 points away from closing out this set, but Iran are catching up. We'll see if they can get those 3 points in time. Alipour back at the front of the net. reminding this Egyptian team that he's here. That's a big swing by him. Beautiful set by Babadi. Iran are starting to find their feet again. Get back that momentum and that rhythm. That's a great block by Egypt. Side out, and they are now within 2 points of winning set 3. ALIPOURIAN just not able to recover that ball in time. Iran bringing the big guns back on as Morteza MEHRZAD takes to the net. ZIRAHI coming off. He's been a really good asset for Iran, gotten some great experience while he was there. Musa at the service line. Oh, that's a great play by KHAMIS. Oh, but he's called on a net touch. That's devastating. That's a side out for Iran as ALIPOURIAN moves to the service line. If anybody can get Iran back on top in this set, it's him. Abouelyazeid, he's back in the game. He's at the front row, and he gets Egypt to set 3 points. Now it's not over yet. You can never count Iran out. There's still another point Egypt have to get. Amr is at the service line. Egypt have Abouelyazeid in the front row. They've got Abdallah. They're gonna have to fight. This is not a given, and Morteza reminds them of that with a handy block of the serve. Now it's still set point to Egypt. It's almost like Amr forgot that MEHRZAD was there. He served right at him. ALIPOURIAN back to the service line. BIGDELI with a big swing, and Egypt have done it! Abouelyazeid and KHAMIS with a big block in the front row. We weren't sure this was possible after a couple of tough losses, but Egypt pull out a third set win over reigning gold medalist Iran. They take set 3 to bring the score 25-14, 25-15, 20-25.
Est-ce qu'on continue ensemble ou pas? Est-ce qu'on continue ensemble?
Egypt have really upped their game here in set 3. They finally found their momentum. They were starting to complete. They got some great blocks up. That shut down Iran's offense. Now, Iran are not going to take this lightly. They haven't had a loss in an international competition in a really long time. They're going to come out meaning business in set 4, and Egypt are going to have to make sure that they're ready for that. An amazing play going on here in the North Paris Arena. The crowd are on their feet. The DJ here is doing an amazing job of keeping that energy really up here on court today. Iran having some serious words with one another, reviewing their tactics, having a chat about what it is that they can do to stop this Egyptian team. Egypt having a bit of a powwow of their own. Going into this set, they need to bottle that energy that they found at the end of set 3. They need to make no errors. They need to keep that blocking system firing on all cylinders. That was their big asset in this win over Iran. Now they've got to, if they want to win this match, this is going to have to go all the way to 5 sets. Because Egypt will need to win 3, and they've only got 1. Teams are getting settled. Libero's on court, and we'll get set 4 underway. It's Iran serving Egypt. ABOUELYAZEID takes a big swing, but it's a follow-up by KHAMIS. Iran claiming they had the ball up. Their first referee saying, no way. KHAMIS, excuse me. ABDO taking to the service line for Egypt. It's a nice pass by Salehi. That's a lovely set to ALIPOURIAN by BABADI. That's a handy kill for them. Now with a team like Egypt that play with a lot of passion and a lot of emotion, the best thing you can do is come out as strong as you can at the start of that set, throw them off their game. See if you can't force them to get a little bit frustrated, and that's no doubt what Iran are going to be looking to do now. They're executing brilliantly. Egypt's not covering the court like they were in the last set. You've got to be on your game with a team like Iran. They're going to pick you apart if you show any chink in your armor. GOLESTANI is back to serve for Iran. Oh, and that's an amazing ace. Now the line judge called that in, but the first referee overrules. He said, nope, I had a better shot, a line of sight on that, and he was right. That ball went well clear of that sideline. Egypt tying things up 2-2 as KHAMIS takes to the service line. MEHRZAD with a big swing as he reaches over the top of ABOUELYAZEID. ABDALLA says, what can you do? An easy shot for MEHRZAD. For any other player, those blockers would have been covering that hole in the Egyptian defense, but he can reach right over the top of it. And it's ALIPOURIAN now with an ace. Amr right there, but Iran's ALIPOUR able to cover and send that ball back over the net. It's a big swing by Amr. It bounces off the top of BABADI and ALIPOUR's hands. There's nothing they can do, they know that. Iran still holding on to their lead, but ABOUELYAZEID is back on that service line. He'll be looking to get a few points of his own and getting Egypt back in front in set 4. That's another big swing from MEHRZAD. ABOUELYAZEID doing well to get his hands on it, but once again, he's just hitting over the top of the Egyptian blockers. They're laughing at each other like, well, we can't do anything, so we may as well smile about it. ALIPOUR back to the service line now for Iran. Again, he's one of the best servers, and he's showing us why. He blasts that ball through the Egyptian block for an easy ace. There was no chance of any Egyptians getting their hands on it after that. They're going to try and move the block around, give him something else to look at. MEHRZAD just ducking so that he doesn't get hit. Egypt keeping that ball alive. Salehi picks that up. BIGDELI putting a free ball. This is a chance for Egypt, but it's MEHRZAD with another block. Egypt covering again. But once again, it's a big swing from the big man from Iran. Once again, it's just so easy. The Egyptians kind of looking at each other there. They could have tried to go after that, but they're just ready for the next ball. That's another ace for Alipour. It just nicks that back line. That's a beautiful serve. 72 kilometers an hour. That's a good up by Egypt. It's not the most beautiful pass, but it does the job. But Iran able to convert that into a point off of BIGDELI's swing. Alipourian, he's such a smart setter. He knew that block would be late, and he had BIGDELI in waiting. ABDALLA swinging on two. Alipour able to get it, and he puts a swing on it, but Egypt's Sant Moussa is right there with the block. He's been a big blocker for Egypt. He's got to keep doing that if he's going to keep their hopes alive. They've got a bit of making up to do here as they trail Iran by 5 points, but we've seen them do much better than that. That's another big swing from MEHRZAD. And it's like Iran just want to prove to Egypt, when we put our big guns out, you've got no hope. And who would? MEHRZAD is such an asset to this Iranian team. They're a really talented group of players, but he's just the cherry on top of their offense. That's a good swing by Moussa. Iran sending an overpass over, and he takes care of business. Now Egypt doing a substitution as ELSOUDANY comes in for ABDALLA in the back row.
Number 4, Ashraf ABDALLA. Coming in number 2, Mohamed ELSOUDANY.
GOLESTANI with a big swing, but once again, Egypt blocks it easily. He swings again off the block. It's just out of reach for Egypt. That's some great play by Iran. GOLESTANI going for it. BABADI back to serve for Iran. Egypt just managing to get it back over. Alipourian with a big swing on two. Zakareia, ABDO just not in the right spot. Alipourian takes that opportunity. ABDO struggling to get a decent pass. How on earth is that possible? Now, players in sitting volleyball can play with their feet. Iran just moving lightning fast. Iran called for an error. Egyptian point. I think it was a lift. Now, Iran are arguing, but the first referee says, I called what I called. And Hadi Rezai trying to settle his team back down. Moussa goes for a serve. That's a good pass. What a back set by BABADI. And that's a point for Iran. ABOUELYAZEID called for an error. And you can see the Egyptian faces starting to change. They're really showing their frustration here. They're still in this. They're only trailing by 7. Iran have quite a way to go, but they're going to have to turn on if they're going to catch up. It's a good swing by Moussa, great up by BIGDELI, and it's a soft touch from GOLESTANI that gets him the point. That's a lovely back set by Alipourian as well. Salehi gets a nice pass up, and once again, Alipourian to GOLESTANI for a really definitive kill. Egyptian block not in position this time. And they call a timeout.
On est parti pour le petit coup.
Let's see some can like this.
يلا يا شباب عايز زي ما احنا مفيش مشكله خالص لسه عندنا ماتش
Iran looking once again unstoppable. Egypt proved us all wrong in set 3. But they've got a healthy lead. And that's an ace for Golestani. Oh, excuse me, that's an ace for BIGDELI. Egypt getting a nice pass. That's giving them a chance to swing. Now this one goes long, but they're gonna have to keep that up. They're now trailing by 11 points. It's looking unlikely, but they're running out of chances to catch back up with Iran. Once again, Iran recovering really nicely from a tough first touch. Salehi flies out of nowhere, and that's a lovely tip by Alipour. BIGDELI doing some amazing work as setter, redirecting that ball nice and fast. He's able to help Alipour beat the block to the net, making Alipour's job much easier. Alipourian once again connecting with Alipour. ABOUELYAZEID there, covering his own swing. Where is it gonna go next? Oh, that's a shame. What a great swing. Alipour off the block. Very, very reachable for the Egyptian defense, but there's a bit of a miscommunication, and that ball lands right in between ELSOUDANY and Libero Abdellatif. Moussa going in for another swing, but it's a block from Alipourian. Iran just keeps marching on. They're 5 points away from closing out set 4 and taking the match. Egypt makes a substitution, just trying to change things up. Moussa coming out and ZIKRY back on court. Oh, that's another big swing from Alipour. He is like a cannon. ELSOUDANY not able to get his hands up in time, but he tries to use his shoulder to redirect the ball, but it's too powerful and it flies out of bounds. Good coverage there. They're able to get another tip. And that point once again goes to Iran. Abdallah called for a net touch, or Abdo called for a net touch. Egypt call a timeout.
Allez, c'est le temps mort demandé par l'équipe d'Égypte. On va faire un truc vraiment sympa. On va vous demander de ne surtout pas faire de bruit.
واحد اثنين ثلاثة الله أكبر
The crowd in North Paris Arena really bringing the noise, bringing the energy. As Iran look to close out set 4, they have made a stomping performance here. And Egypt keeping their hopes alive, but they've got a lot of work to do as they trail by 15 points in this set. If Iran get to 25 points before Egypt, they take the set and the match. Egypt make another substitution. That's a great first pass. ALIPOURIAN now with a swing. He doesn't get to do that often as setter, but he makes it count. BABADI there with a lovely set in exactly the right spot. ALIPOURIAN able to push that between the Egyptian block as they get within 2 points of winning this match. Well, that's an easy side out for Egypt, a lucky break. They've got their work cut out for them if they want to fight back here. It's looking unlikely. But they've shown us before that they're capable of comebacks. MEHRZAD back in the front row. He gets a big kill as Iran get to match point. ZIKRY doing well to get his hands on that, just not in quite the right spot, but that's because MEHRZAD wanted it that way. ALIPOURIAN with the serve. Egypt's not going out without a fight. We'll see where this points go, and the point goes to Iran for the win. What a match played on both sides, but in the end, it's Iran able to pull off this win. 3 sets to 1, 25-14, 25-15, losing 20-25, but coming back for a huge 25-8 win in set 4.
And once again, they'll be battling it out for the gold medal tomorrow. Please show some love for Islamic Republic of Iran.
Iranian side, all smiles. They're headed to the gold medal match once again. They'll be looking to get their 8th gold medal here in Paris 2024. And with the help of MEHRZAD, who's seemingly unstoppable, it's hard to see how they can't achieve that.
Et bien sûr l'équipe d'Iran qui, elle, ira affronter l'équipe de Bosnie-Herzégovine à l'occasion de la grande finale demain soir à 19h30.
Just a stomping performance by both teams. Is Iran taking this match 25-14, 25-15. They lost 20-25, but came back for a really definitive victory in set 4 here today. They've been in this position many a time. So far in this competition, Egypt has been the only team to take a set off of the 2-time reigning gold medalists and world champions. They have a lot to be proud of, Egypt, as they head into the bronze medal match later on in this competition. The stats speak for themselves. Iran came out swinging, literally 59 kills from a wide spread of their lineup. But it's Egypt's blocking that really kept them in that match and gave them that victory in set 3. But Iran's aces, they came out swinging. They put some really hard balls on the Egyptian side of the court, and that got them a pretty handy victory here in the North Paris arena.